Hello, so today I'm going to take you through the COVID Crisis Communication Starter Kit from IBM that you can download free off of GitHub. I'm going to give you a quick tour so that you can hopefully see how easy it is to integrate this within a Watson Assistant that you can then create your own solution for at your own company. So the Crisis Communication Starter Kit, it's free. You can download it from GitHub again. Here's the URL. I will post that as well underneath the video here and more information. The idea really is to be able to help provide and offload people from having to answer the same questions, maybe over and over again, which is quite common use case for a chatbot or an assistant. You could think of with COVID crisis going on right now, you want to be able to provide people in your company up-to-date information that is trusted from a trusted source. So the COVID crisis communication chatbot here from IBM brings in information from the CDC as well as other sources, but what you can do is then integrate that with your own company guidelines. So if we take a look at really quickly here, the architecture behind this, there are a number of different kinds of integration points for this starter kit, but the one that I've implemented that I think maybe would be easy to implement for a lot of people, especially if you're going to integrate this into your own company website, is the one with the website integration, obviously. And you take the one where the user would interact with a Node.js application, which is provided in the kit. And then you interact with a Watson Assistant, which will show how that works. Uses a functions as a microservice to integrate then with Discovery to bring in news articles. So you could think of, if you use Watson Discovery here, right now it's bringing in news articles as the starter kit provides, but you could also say bring in your own company policies. So let's say you have policies created around travel or during this time, or you have policies created around, let's say, expenses. So maybe people might be wondering, if they're working from home, can I expense cleaning supplies? Or if I have to travel into the office, if I'm an essential worker, can I expense cleaning supplies? Things like that. You don't want to tie up a lot of your management or HR in answering these kinds of questions over and over and over again. So you can provide easy 24-hour support for your employees, with these types of questions by, using a simple chatbot. And you could bring those policies into Discovery, and then all of a sudden, now Watson Assistant can learn those and it can be able to respond. So the starter kit provides you with a good foundation to be able to do this. Besides the website integration, if you did want to do Slack integration, there's Slack integration, that's also provided. As well as voice, integration. So if you wanted to provide, something where you could call in and or text, as well, you can do that. So right now, I wanted to show you a little bit more today on the actual website integration piece. So one of the first things that you're going to want to do is obviously create a Watson Assistant service. So you'll go on your IBM Cloud account, create the service. You can use, just as a starter, you can use the Lite plan, which is free. You probably want to, obviously upgrade if you're going to use this in a production and use it for your own company. So you can, once you create this, it's fairly straightforward to create it. You can launch it. Once you launch the Watson Assistant, then it will take you to a page where you will actually be able to create different assistants. I created a simple assistant here called COVID, and I can go ahead, and it has one skill. If I go into the COVID assistant FAQ, I can look, and this is where you would actually add skills, and then you could link it to the COVID assistant after you create the skill. And the skill is very easy to create with this, because it has, one of the things that the starter kit provides is is a JSON file that you can import that has all the skills pretty much already in it. So after I download the COVID Assistant, I can see that if I go into here, open up, and you can see right in here, these are all the intents. I have a number of intents. I mean, there's a lot of things that are in here, as well as dialog flows. And if you look at this is all like information, from the CDC and other things. These are all things that, you would have to create yourself if you were going to do this. But again, because we're using the starter kit, it creates all of these already for you. So we will go back. We've already imported our skills. We'll look at the assistant, and we'll just take a take a look at it and see what's actually part of this. Again, 42 different intents, a number of different entities that are created for you automatically. Dialog flow, a lot of dialog flow that's in there. And one of the neat things, if you haven't seen this with Watson Assistant, is just being able to kind of try it out, right here. So I can ask it a number of questions, and I could say, what is COVID? Gives me information about that. So pretty straightforward, simple type things that I could do. And of course, if it doesn't match, you can go ahead and it'll tell you right here it's matching to the kind of the what is COVID type of thing question. But one of the more interesting things with this, again, is that it integrates. It's a starter kit, so it provides you just pretty much right away with all this information that you can then integrate into your website. So I wanted to show you just really quick how easy that is as well. So on your Watson page, you have credentials, you have an API key, and a URL. This is how you actually access and integrate with the Watson Assistant. The starter kit is going to provide you with an environment file, which is pretty typical how we integrate with these types of things. And then you're going to have to enter in that URL that you see in there, the API key, assistant ID. So once you find all those kinds of things, then you're able to. That's pretty much all I really had to do just to start the starter kit and get that going outside of the Watson Assistant. So I wanted to show you then. Once I'm in the directory. My starter kit that I've downloaded, I went to the COVID simple, and then if I just do a simple npm start, it shows it running locally here on port 3010. So I will go ahead and access that. And here it is. You can see hello on the COVID Assistant. I can say, what is COVID? It gives me some information there, and it also tells me, what the nice thing with this is it gives me kind of, what's the entity that I found, response, where is it pulling the information from, the source. I can say, can I catch COVID from my dog? And it gives me information, about that too as well. So it tells you the intent is, about a 96-97% match for animal contact. So it understands that, and it tells you, right, here's some information about that. But again, one of the things that's really powerful about this is that you can integrate this with your back-end systems through Watson Discovery and any kind of policies that you have. So company policies, just bring those right into Watson Discovery, and all of a sudden it would know that as well. So starter kit, very useful to get going with Watson Assistant and provide a really quick way to integrate and provide value to your company right away by offloading work from people having to answer questions, as well as providing 24/7 that a chatbot does to your employees information. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer any of those. Thank you.